If you've ever come to see our Orca Encounter presentation before, you might know that this is what we call the opening segment of this presentation, which means that we'd like the whales to come out here from the side door here and do the presentation out in front with you guys. Now, if there's anything that's very important to know for our killer whale family is that they are social animals. How many of you guys came here with your families today? Lots of us, awesome, yeah. My family's not here, they're up in Montana. However, our killer whale family here, they all live together. We have our two males out here with us right now. This is Trua and Makayo, and right next door are our three female killer whales. In a killer whale society, the girls are in charge, and that's what we call a matriarchal society. Just like mom is in charge at home, right guys? She is, even if she's not telling you that. So it's the same way with the killer whale family. All the girls are in charge. They're the ones who get first pick for everything. And the boys kind of have to decide on everything else after that. So right now, what we're seeing is our two male killer whales hanging out over here on the right-hand side and taking a look at what the girls are doing. They seem very interested in the ladies. Parents, you guys are welcome to tell your kids all about that. But what we're seeing is we're going to give them a little bit of time before we continue on with this presentation. Doesn't mean that we canceled anything, but we do want them to be able to socialize and communicate with each other because there's so much that we can't even understand since they don't have the voice to be able to tell us. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our killer whale family before we continue on, and then I'll get an update from our trainers in the back who are currently working with our killer whale pod, and we're going to see where we're going to go from there. Now, a little bit about our pod. We do have our two male killer whales, Trua and Makayo, who are 14, and soon to be 15 actually, and then Trua is 19 years old. He'll be turning 20 later on in November. And right next door are our three female killer whales, Katina, Nalani, and Malia. Malia is the youngest girl. She's 18 years old. Nalani just turned 19 about 5 days ago. And then Katina is our matriarch, and she's 49, soon to be 50 years old. Wow. So within our pod right there, Katina is the mom to both Makayo and to Nalani, and what she is doing, she's communicating with them and letting them know that right now they are going to pause everything that they are doing. What you guys are not seeing in the back here is our trainers are actually trying to see if they would like to come over, and everything that we do is voluntary, which means that the whales do have a choice whether or not they would like to participate. If they don't participate, guess what we do? Shout it out. Nothing! Yes, we do nothing. There's nothing that we can do to ask them to participate if they do not want to participate. I did just hear a little tone go off here a second ago. We have this really cool tone box backstage here that it plays 10 different sounds that ask the whales to come over and see if they're ready to participate. Now the goal right here is just to ask them to come over and get a little snack, so thank you so much for engaging with us. We're going to leave you be for just a few more minutes to make sure that you guys are able to socialize. So here's Makayo on your left-hand side and True is on the right-hand side. These two boys, they came over, they heard that tone, that was great. That is step one to continuing on with this presentation. Now we're going to give them a little bit of time and space just to make sure that they can get everything out of their system. We might ask them to try again, and then we'll continue on with that show. But a little bit more about these killer whales. We do take part in lots of different training sessions every single day. So what you guys are seeing here, this is just one of our many, many types of sessions. This is what we would consider a show or a presentation session. It tends to be a mixture of different things, lots of high energy behaviors, and also lots of healthcare and husbandry demonstrations, which we actually participate in regularly every single day. So this morning, our killer whales took part in some of those healthcare behaviors, one of which is actually a blood sample, and it looks like I just got a little update here a moment ago. All right, so I just got the update, and Kelly just let me know that we're going to try to ask the boys to come back over again. If they say yes, we're going to play the music. For our techs up there, we're going to start with the top of the music. So there's that tone. All right, we're ready to start that music. Let's give it up for our killer whale pod.
Probably like a tie-up.
two members of our killer whale family demonstrating their incredible size, speed, power, and complex learning abilities. These behaviors keep our whales active and engaged. SeaWorld's killer whales have inspired guests all over the world to care about their natural environment, and we're excited to share their story with all of you here today.
Killer whales are the ocean's top predator. They use cooperation and communication, not just size and strength, to take their place at the top of the ocean's food web. At the bottom are small animals, like krill. At the top, the apex predator, the killer whale. Killer whales are as big as a bus, faster than an Olympic swimmer, high-flying and powerful.
We're going to see all that and more. These behaviors contribute to an environment that is full of enrichment.
We spend days, weeks, months, years building relationships with our whales. This creates trust, and that allows us to do some amazing things. For example, when you visit the doctor, you present your arm to draw blood, or step on the scale to see how much you weigh. It's much the same with our whales.
Today, we'll see the whales moving together in unison. These synchronized behaviors help to strengthen their social bonds and enable them to problem solve as a group. Working together as a team is what makes the killer whale the ocean's top predator. Scientifically, they're known as the Orca and more commonly referred to as the killer whale. But here at SeaWorld, we know them as Katina, Nalani, Malia, Trua, and Makayo, our killer whale family. While Makayo is the youngest member of our pod, his mother Katina is the oldest, and she is going to be turning 50 years this next year. She is also our matriarch and leader of our pod. Now, SeaWorld's animal training techniques create a language between us and the whales. It's a language of learning through positive reinforcement, encouragement, commitment, and care. Through these techniques in our relationships, the whales learn to trust us, and they even learn to take an active role in their very own health and well-being. Joining us now are our three female killer whales, Katina, Nalani, and Malia. And in just a moment here, we're going to get to see one of the very first healthcare or husbandry behaviors that we teach all of our killer whales. And this is called a line-up. We actually ask the whales to roll over ventrally or upside down and present their tail flukes. And when they do, not only do we get a great look at their entire body, but we also get access to blood vessels that are easily seen on the white undersides of their tail flukes. And now Nalani is going to demonstrate that right here in our slide out area. Now our veterinarians will get a blood sample at least once a month, and Nalani actually got one right this morning. And we are actually able to ask them to participate like this, and we are able to touch them on different parts of their bodies because killer whales are in fact very tactile animals. So giving them a rub down on their bellies, their backs, or their pectoral flippers, this is a great way to reward them, reinforce them, and also a great way for us to strengthen our relationships with the whales. But blood samples are just one of the many ways that we can ensure their health, and another very important diagnostic is weighing them. To weigh a killer whale, we ask them to slide their bodies up and onto a giant killer whale size scale. When they slide up, there's a portion of their body from their dorsal fins down to their tail flukes that remains in the water called the peduncle. It's very muscular and very heavy, and in fact, natural athletic abilities we see in all killer whales is the ability to lift their entire body up and out of the water, spin around completely, and then re-enter. In this instance, to get a weight on Malia, all we have to do is simply ask her to slide her body up and lift her tail flukes up and out of the water, just like this. Training this posture enables us to ensure accuracy so we know that our younger whales are growing properly and our older whales are maintaining a healthy weight.
And the care isn't just physical. Mental stimulation and play are vital, and we surprise and engage with our whales at every opportunity. Play is how killer whales teach their young to hunt, and for the adults, play is important too. It seems that they just enjoy having fun. Making time for play is an important part of life for killer whales, and for us.
Hello again, everyone. I'm down here on the left side of the stadium, and we just learned that killer whales love to play. In fact, they learn a lot through mimicry and observational learning, and they pick up on necessary life skills by playing games like Follow the Leader. And we're going to put that to the test today with Nalani, Malia, Katina, and all of you guys. So to help me out, I'm going to have everyone on the left side of the stadium on your feet. You guys are the leader, and Nalani is going to follow. Step one is to keep your hands to your sides, and when I say 1, 2, 3, go, I want everyone to spin around in a circle 2 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, go! Oh, and she's got it. Here we go. Well then, everyone, as you can see, Milani was paying very close attention to everything that we were doing out here. Killer whales are curious animals, and they can often be seen spy hopping or jumping completely out of the water, which we're going to get to see in just a moment. Now, on the right-hand side, you guys are going to help us out on your feet. You have a different hand signal that you're going to use. You're going to take your left arm out to your side, smack your thigh, and bring it back to the sky. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, Malia saw that, and she is on her way. Now, killer whales breach for a number of different reasons. Sometimes it's to stun their prey, scratch an itch, or often than not, they'll do it just simply to show off. Welcome to the Soap Zone, everyone. There's more where that came from, but let's give it up one more time for Katina, Milani, Malia, and all of you. SeaWorld's research and observation of the killer whales in our care has helped to shed light on many mysteries. For example, we've learned that the gestation period of a pregnant killer whale is about 17 months. That's information that would be impossible to obtain in the wild. Some information, however, can only be gained through field research, and that's why SeaWorld partners with groups like the Norwegian Orca Survey and NOAA to advance killer whale education. Killer whales are powerful animals, and perhaps the best expression of that power can be seen when they hunt.
Killer whales stand apart. They have no natural predators, and just about any other ocean animal could be their dinner. Depending on where they live and their chosen prey, they've developed some epic hunting techniques. Off the coast of South America, killer whales will beach themselves, riding in on waves just long enough to catch prey. They'll also create waves that knock animals like penguins or seals from ice cliffs. Most importantly, they cooperate, communicate, and coordinate as a team. Here's footage of killer whales corralling a school of herring. A whale dips in and feeds, while the other whales keep the fish together with swipes of their tail flukes.
So killer whales create waves when they hunt, and they use their tail flukes to stun their prey. You're about to see a demonstration. For our killer whales, it's a high-energy activity session. But for all of you, it means it's time to get wet. several hundred pounds of food every single day. In the wild, their diets are completely dependent on where they live and the time of year. Unfortunately, overfishing, pollution, and other factors are having a serious impact on some killer whale populations.
Killer whales are impressive animals, and it's pretty obvious why they're the top predator in the ocean. That means killer whales are invincible, right? Wrong.
I'm gonna go home.
Killer whales depend on a plentiful food source and a clean environment. They're completely dominant, yet completely dependent.
When it comes down to it, killer whales are not the most powerful animal in the ocean.
Their future depends on you.
Through your actions.
For the choices we all make.
We hold the future of killer whales and the oceans in our hands.
Killer whales continue to surprise and amaze us. They're the perfect ambassadors of the ocean, limitless, connected, powerful,
But still vulnerable.
The challenges that we face can seem insurmountable.
Don't give up. Be inspired.
The ocean needs our help, and that seems overwhelming. But together, we can make it happen.
There's so much to learn.
So much to protect. So much to explore. The killer whale story is still being written.
And there are simple things we all can do to make a difference.
All it takes is one choice.
One positive act. One ripple that can grow and grow.
And change the world.
Together, we've got this.
So much mystery. We are all inspired by this one big world, and we share the love for each of us. There's a heart unite, and we come alive. And it feels so right, and see above the world. This one big world. Let's take a journey, explore the great unknown, wonder at creation, everywhere we go, miracles